Okay.
So, Dr. Sunil, I'll invite you to please give us the valediction address.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Vivek and Dr. Swati. So, good evening, distinguished dignitaries, judges, the dear students, academicians, as well as friends. After 2 days and speaking at the end, Professor Vivek has, and as well as Dr. Swati has given me one of the biggest challenges for these 2 days of the program. And that is speaking at the end of all the distinguished speakers. Now, if you ask me,
Aspects.
and if you have heard these speakers, I can certainly say that you have received a tremendous amount of inputs for your next year's brand plans. And at the same time, probably you also have got answers, rather various answers to devising various of the brands. So I think speaking after that is really a big challenge. And the speakers, eminent speakers, have actually covered various aspects of the brands and the various reasons for the success of the brands. Like, for example, brand name, or it could be the strategy, or it could be the execution, or it could be the timing, or it could be the composition or the formulation, positioning, etc., etc. So I was really wondering that what should I touch upon which actually uh, needs more emphasis, as well as which is also not covered. So what I was thinking is, of course, all these factors definitely have got a tremendous amount of importance, which actually is an essential ingredient of the brand strategy. But at the same time, when you ask this question, that who is it who is going to actually devise these? And basically the answer comes, it's to the person, to the professional. So I'm just giving a small list, which I think is the uh, essential ingredients with respect to the behavioral characteristics of a pharmaceutical marketing professional. And I call them as 10 C's for the success of pharmaceutical marketing in the years to come. And of course, these are behavioral characteristics, and you can implement them, or you can also debate them. So the first C is curiosity. The second C is customer centricity. The third C is commercial acumen. The fourth C is content. And somebody, I think it was Dr. Sandeep Bhattacharya, if I remember rightly, who talked about concept. So the origin of concept is your content. If you don't have a content, you don't have a concept. The next C is creativity. Today is an era of partnerships. Today is an era of collaborations. So the next C is collaborations. Today we are living in a connected world. Okay. The internet has made a sea change in the professional as well as personal lives, and information is no longer the domain or a secret kind of a area, and information is free. So the next C is well connected. That's the C. The next C is commitment. The next C is challenging, and the next C is communication. Today is an era of communication. So these are the 10 C's which I thought should be at the back of the mind, which actually needs to be implemented. Then there are some buzzwords which I'm giving it, I'm just putting it open, which I feel have got a lot of significance. The first one is value. Now, we heard quite a few of the speakers as well as we heard some medical practitioners. And at the end of the day, there was some value which was there, whether it was value for the doctor or whether it was value for the patient or whether it was, in fact, a value even for the organization. But there has to be some value in your proposition, whether it is a product or a brand or even a sales representative's detailing or even connecting with the doctor. But every interaction needs to have a value, otherwise there is no time. So there has to be a lot of value in our interactions. Number two, there has to be a innovation. We simply cannot replicate what has been done yesterday. Number three, differentiation. And number four, we have been talking about, and last 4 years we have emphasized through the World Pharma Brand Managers Day. That has been the theme of these World Pharma Brand Managers Day over the years, from transactional marketing to knowledge based marketing. So the fourth one is concept. And quickly, I was looking into the other behavioral aspects, that what should be the now if you see brand management or marketing activity, it is made up of n number of kinds of functional activities all put together. So is there some virtue what is needs to be present, or is there a group of virtues which are important? So I take a similarity from astrology. And when I look at the solar system, each of the planet has got a virtue which needs to be incorporated into the behavioral aspect of a successful pharmaceutical professional. The first one is starting with Mercury, and Mercury stands for communication. Mercury stands for intelligence. Mercury stands for analytical skills. Mercury stands for analysis not leading to paralysis. Okay, you need to act fast. So that's the first behavioral aspect which we derive from the solar system, which is applicable to the pharmaceutical industry. The second one is Venus. Venus stands for creativity. Venus stands for friendship. Friendship with whom? Friendship leading to romance, romance leading to love, and love leading to marriage. But with whom? With your brand. Okay. With respect to your romance with your brand, leading to love, passion for the brand, leading to marriage for your brand. Okay. You have to compulsory have a second marriage with your brand. Venus stands for advertising. Venus stands for desire. Desire for what? Desire for more market share. The third one is Earth, our Mother Earth. We derive from Mother Earth the reality, the firmly on the grassroots level. That means in touch with the marketplace. Never lose the touch with the marketplace. Be realistic and be pragmatic. The fourth is Mars, which gives us the momentum to move ahead in terms of prescriptions. And without prescriptions, obviously there is no growth. Prescriptions leading to units, units leading to value, value leading to market share, and market share leading to your ranking in terms of your therapeutic segment or in terms of industry. So everything is hand in hand. Mars gives you impatience, and it gives you hastiness, but for what? For prescriptions, not for the sales promotion activities. The next is Jupiter. A lot of emphasis has been there in these 2 days on knowledge, and I reiterate that knowledge as well as scientific aspect, a scientific angle in your attitude. Jupiter stands for optimism, and most important, being ethical. So prescriptions at being ethical. The next is Saturn, which should give us the depth in thinking. We need to go to the crux of the issue and not have a superficial problem for the brand, which gives us discipline, which gives us critical thinking. And that is what we need to emphasize. And which also gives a very important point. Yesterday, Dr. Sandeep talked about it. I also talked about it, being conservative in our expenditure, in our budgetary expenditure, returning into a high return on investment. This next one is Sun. Of course, we need to work taking up ownership of responsibility. Sun stands for optimism, and you have to develop optimism for your brand within the entire organization. The next is the Moon, and so just now this point was made. Uh, I think I think by Mr. Muhammad. He talked about emotions, and Moon gives us that emotions with respect to being sensitive and imaginative to our customers and not taking them for a ride. A single complaint of a customer is a gold mine opportunity for you to actually move ahead. And the last but not the least, they are not considered planets, but of course, they are there in terms of essential ingredients, the Rahu as well as the Ketu dragon, and they move in the opposite direction in the solar system. That's what is considered. So I think the negative momentum is something which should not be at all taken with, which can lead to loss of reputation as well as speculation and not believing any magic results. So I think this is what are the essential behavioral ingredients, I think, which we need to derive and imbibe, because marketing or sales or whichever function you take is a versatile function. My last sentence for this 2 days is why we need to build brands. I mean, I'm ending with this two sentences. We need to build brands for what reason? Basically, we need to build brands for prosperity, because building a brand is giving us that entire prosperity in the organization, right from the medical representative up to the balance sheet, including the various aspects in the, and it is an unfortunate thing that in finance brands are not being shown in the asset column of the balance sheet, but brands needs to be built for the uh, prosperity to the various stakeholders in the years to come. That's my closing statement. Over to you, Professor Vivek.
Thank you, Dr. Sunil. Before we conclude, to all the participants here, there were some wonderful presentations. And these presentations, this is a learning lesson for all of us. This is a learning lesson for all of us. These presentations did not come out of the hat. The people who made the presentations have spent weeks and weeks of practice. They have conducted mock sessions, and only after these mock sessions could you get the outcome, such beautiful outcome. And that is something which every brand manager should remember whenever you make a presentation. Please have a mock session with your boss or somebody, and only after that mock session is over, come and give the real presentation. That is my take home message, and I will try to implement that personally.
Vivek sir, I would like to interrupt here. Your message is wonderful. Be prepared. That is one thing, and do not take shortcuts. That is one thing. The young generation should realize: shortcuts are for no one who wants to succeed.